Hello, fellow YouTubers. Welcome to YouTube Game Community, episode 216. I'm your host, Trouble835, and let's jump right into it.
Channels to check out. What? You don't like new stuff?
So today's first video we're going to talk about, which is always a topic we am talking about, is from SegaCDUniverse. Does an emotion change in life spill over into gaming habits? A community question. I think there's no way a change in life cannot affect your gaming habits. For anybody who's a gamer, for anybody who collects video games and plays them, there's always a balance between life and your gaming time, right? Like, I would love to sit down and be able to play all my old games all the time, but with a family, like my son who wants to play Minecraft, I like Mario Kart 8, we play Mario Kart 8, that cuts into the time I have for that. Now, changes in life always affect your gaming, especially when it's a major change. Because I think, at least this happened to me, the longer you have a change in life where you don't play video games at all, you're more likely to look on that shelf and go, you know what, I don't really need those games anymore. I really don't play them, especially if it's a long period of time. I should get rid of them. Or maybe you were in a time in life, for example, when money was good and you could buy any game that you wanted to, and you bought like every game that you saw for certain systems, and then later on when there's a change in life where you don't have that, you start looking at yourself going, you know, I really want these games, but I can't afford them. But you know what, these other games I really don't play or really don't like, I'm just going to get rid of those, and that'll enable me to buy those other games. Or maybe you just get rid of them because you're never going to play them. I mean, when I first started collecting again, 5 years ago, into retro games, when I first started collecting, I bought everything I could find, right? You just wanted to buy games, it didn't matter. And now I'm more like, you know what, I want to collect like for the NES, and I want the labels to be in really good condition, and so I don't go buy every game. Now that doesn't mean I don't buy like a PlayStation game because I really love that system, or a Dreamcast game I don't have. It just, when I go to the store, I first look at a certain system and I go, okay, I look at their system and maybe I want something different, right? As a collector, especially a collector in multiple systems, sometimes you don't always stay focused. But changes in life will always affect your gaming. Maybe you get in a serious relationship and that affects your gaming because you don't have that much time, or you have a child, or whatever. You know, life changes your gaming habits. So do emotions. Especially when it comes to, let's say, you buy an old console that you remember, like maybe you finally remember certain memories of it, and you buy it, and you get a bad game for that console, but you think it's good, and you play that game, and you hate that game, or you hate certain things about that console at the time, that emotion of that may lead you to get rid of that console altogether because of that first experience. Especially if you get a retro console you never played before, and that first game is a bad experience, that could very well make you want to get rid of it. There are times in any gamer, right, where you pop a game in your system and you're just not feeling that game. But I think it does affect your life. So anyway, if you guys want to answer that question, go to the video below and leave him a comment to his video. Really love that question. It made me think, you know, how has life affected my gaming? I've never not had a point in life where I haven't had a game system or at least one video game. There's never been a point in my life since I got my Atari 2600 that I've never not had a console. I've gotten rid of most of my collection at time, a time or two, and other stuff, but I've never not had a console, no matter how bad life had gotten. But at the same time, if life dictates, for example, where things get really bad and I have to sell the collection, I would. There just to be certain games I'd be very reluctant to sell to the very bitter end. Anyway, our next video is from Novabug, Retro MasterMindless Episode 5, ShockzCentral. So in this video, his guests in this video are Dancentral and ShockZ16. And the point of the Retro MasterMindless episodes are think of it as a retro gaming quiz show. Them asking retro questions to the guest and them answering it to see how smart they are and who wins. Something I haven't really seen in the gaming community, a retro gaming quiz show, which is kind of cool. So if you're interested to see if you're smart enough to answer these questions, or that you know it, definitely check it out. Really cool. And the next one is from MyLifeinGaming. This is basically a video where he basically takes the arcade game and the console game and shows you both versions. And the video is arcade versus console, and this is for the game Strider, which I absolutely love the arcade game of Strider, and I have fond memories of Strider on the NES. I wouldn't call it the greatest game experience I've had, but I have fond memories of both. If you ever, like, maybe you played one or not the other, or want to check out what they look like, definitely check the video. And the next one is about video game music. It is from VGMProf, or Video Game Professor. I don't want to call it prof, it's P-R-O-F, but that's what I said. Episode 8, the Super Star Wars Trilogy, Part 3 of 3. In his description of the video is probably the best way I can describe it, and that is simply part history, part listening to music, part music theory. That's what he all does, and there's a lot of editing to this and a lot of cool stuff about video game music of the Super Star Wars Trilogy. So if you love that trilogy on the Super Nintendo, definitely something for you to check out. Now the next one's a funny little clip by L1 Games called My Cat Wants to Eat Megaman. So basically, he has Megaman on the screen on his Wii, and the cat just wants to eat Megaman. It's funny to watch it. It's a short clip, but definitely worth checking. And the next one is from Completionist, the Completionist from Canada. There are 2 Completionists on YouTube. Derek, it is Gaming Channels That Deserve 1,000 Subscribers, Episode 3. Shouts out a bunch of different channels. Some channels I've never actually heard before. So if you want a video to go, maybe possibly check out some new channels, that's definitely one to go to. I don't know why I keep saying checking it out. I say that at the end of every video, and I talk about it. I don't know why. Just a funny thing. I just have it, I guess. Anyway, Siccooper, My Collecting and Video YouTube History Story Time. This is a great story from him, explaining, when he got back into collecting, and then how he basically got rid of it, and then he sold it off, and then he collected again, how he got into that, how he got into YouTube, who was the first person he watched, and that inspired him to make YouTube videos. It's definitely worth checking out if you want to hear about someone's history and collecting again. The next video is from Sonictoast. It's called Daily Toast, Donkey Kong Jr. Math. So Daily Toast is him basically talking about a certain game. And in this case, it's about Donkey Kong Jr. Math, which he clearly states is not a good game, but he talks about it. So if you want to hear about him talk about Donkey Kong Jr. Math, or maybe you've never played the game and want to hear about it, then check out his video. He does one, Daily Toast, about every day. And the next one is from InfectedFlinch. Dave asked, do we really need HD remakes? Now, when HD remakes first started, I think everybody was excited of the possibilities of their favorite series coming back. For me, it was Jackson Dexter, yet I have yet to pick up the HD collection for the PS3. And while I think HD remakes are cool if you're a fan of a certain series, I don't think a lot of games need HD remakes. I only think really popular games do, because the truth is, despite what the sales of original game were, the HD remakes are going to sell much less because it's to a niche audience. That a lot of people are less likely to buy those remakes. And I don't think we need a ton of remakes. Actually, I think the remakes is kind of a fad. It's not going to go away. I just think we're eventually going to see less and less games get HD remakes. And what I mean is basically the same game redone in HD with nothing new added to it. I think there are certain games that are test of time, that HD remakes, that they will sell. But overall, I don't think we need a lot of them. I've kind of like, when I first came out, oh, that's kind of cool. Can you imagine this game? And now I'm like, in this game, and now I'm like, I'd rather buy a new gaming experience than buying a game I've already played. Because I think the thing is, if you've already played a game before, and you have that game, and then you buy the new version, you already know what's going to happen. And I think you're much less likely to buy that game, because for me, it's always about buying the new experiences, or experiences I used to have, not buying the same experience I already own. Anyway, guys have any opinions on that, definitely go to his video and leave him a comment. Our next one is from Jason Heine, or TheEMUreview. Drum covers release party, whole album live stream, August 10th. I watched the live stream on Twitch. If you're a fan of retro games like Outrun, Donkey Kong Country, Sonic the Hedgehog, Star Fox, to name a few, Chrono Trigger, there is a drum cover for one of those songs, at least of those, in here. I think it's about 8 songs long. It could be wrong. You'll see the picture right here so you can see the song list. But it's really cool. If you want it, it's on Noise Trade. You can either download it free or give a tip, which if you like the album, tipping is always encouraged because people do put work into this stuff. So it's really cool. If you want to just listen to it and check it out, you can listen to it on here, check it out before maybe you want to download it. And our next video is from PeteDorr. It is RPGs with underrated music. And I think for a lot of people, we all like those games that, at least every gamer I think likes games that like isn't the mainstream, that isn't a game that a lot of people play, that maybe you like the game or music. And music is definitely one. Music to me makes or breaks a lot of games. Experience. If the music doesn't match the game, it can completely throw you out of experience. But he does name a lot of RPGs that he considers underrated from, old like Super Nintendo and some current games. So if you're interested in seeing what games he considers has underrated music, RPG wise, definitely go check it out. A lot of RPGs have a lot of great music. And our last video of the day is from Mike Stank, Gartner, Video Game Garage Sale Pickups Live number 14, Guardians of the NES. So this is kind of a hybrid video is the best way to describe it. On one half, he shows you what he picked up and talks about, maybe what he paid for it or the game they used to have, whatever, or why he got it. And the other half is showing him actually going to the garage sale. Not always the best camera angle, but then again, what can you expect? Because, some people are nervous about recording, and sometimes you don't want people to know you're, like, recording or whatever. But it is really cool to see him, like, kind of show, like, a little bit of the garage sales and then talk about what he actually picked up. Like, for example, Toomba on the PlayStation 1, among other cool games. So, definitely check that out. It's a really cool hybrid garage sale video. So guys, this week normally I record this like take after take in one try, and if I don't like a little bit I stop it, but this week I did one try to get it done because of all the stuff going on. My son going to school starting tomorrow, so we try to make it one last fun day for him. So guys, like always, thanks for watching, and I will see you for next YouTube community review next week. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.